unhinges his claws and makes his way in a panic to the Oval Office where the master is mad to force out small children to a foreign land. Immigrants haunt him from his fangs to his feet, both him and his ghouls who wear the ghostly sheets. The old and the young, the strapping men on the street. His black heart knows that he can never compete. It's Naziferatu, what did he do? Lady crept from the attic with a plan so cruel. That weaselly ghoul, he shrieks and he bullies with the charms of a shrew. Boo, 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 Naziferatu.
Okay, hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I'm here literally every single day of the year, and I have been for over 5.5 years. So you always have a community here. You always have somewhere you can go every day of the week to talk with like-minded people and get a reminder that, no, you're not insane. Mary says, I still walk around my home singing that song. Thank you. So anyway, we've got a fantastic community here. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed or whatever works for you. And just so you know, that song is on the channel. There's a video with animated. It's an animated video I made, the whole thing. Anyway, okay. And yes, I wrote the lyrics for that, and yeah. Okay. There's a reason I was there was a reason that I was playing that right up front. One moment. By the way, after the week we've had, I needed kitty. I needed kitties. Look at the paws. Look at the sweet faces. Anyway, okay. I'll just close this for a second, make sure you can see. At 2 minutes, 45 seconds in, this is where we're starting. It just gladdened my heart. Happy birthday, Nita. Just wanted to throw that in there. Basically, Miller, Naziferatu, he actually used to work for Jeff Sessions, believe it or not. And he was despised. He was absolutely despised. And there were people there creating all kinds of vicious rumors about him. All kinds of vicious rumors about him, including one just that he liked to play with porcelain dolls. And so someone brought it up, and the White House has had to make a statement. That is exactly what I was thinking, DL. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Naziferatu. Hey, okay. Yeah, tears on the flow. Hello, said never saw that one coming. I know. So, I have a lot of questions today. They're in the description box. I can't even save them yet because there's so much there. Yeah, what's coming up for Stephen Miller? Here's the thing. someone like this scumbag, this vile creep, he will always find a job somewhere. He will always have a job somewhere. There's always some far right, like there's another question here about the White Heritage Foundation, as I call it. Places like that, they're always looking for people who are willing to fight for their extremist garbage. Okay. However, I just pulled cards for him. Yeah, we know you're part of Trump's, bludgeon. But why is the first card the Hanged Man? The turned upside down, the oopsies, you thought you were going to be doing a certain thing and going a certain way, and whoop, suddenly things look very different, along with a little bit of happiness and some choices made. Now, I ran out of time this morning, but I'm trying to hunt down the information, because I want to say, isn't Pluto going to transit over Miller's midheaven soon? I'm sorry about the ads in the chat. I don't think I've got this handy as the problem. Oh, one second. Let me see. Let me just double check here, because Pluto will dig up whatever's there. We know it's the plow. It hits a sign. Transiting Pluto hits a sign. It just starts plowing everything up. And if it doesn't have really, really strong roots, and we know how violent, corrupt, and diseased this whole grossness is, I wouldn't put it down that he's likely to be able to. Do I have you here? Yes, I do. Oh, I have a birth time too, I think. Transits. Oh, hold on. Transit chart, calculate. Oh no, he has his Pluto conjunct his midheaven in his natal chart. That was it, which makes perfect sense. That Pluto, god of the underworld, is in the same place as the way he will rise in status and climb the social ladder. Oh, chill down my spine. Oh no, it was that it is coming up to Pluto in the transiting is squaring. It's coming up to square the Pluto at his midheaven. Oh, so that makes me think it's even more likely that somebody is going to maybe be looking for a different job. Just a thought. Sorry, let me share. I think this is him. Yeah, Stephen Miller. Here's his chart. If you can see that. Yeah, and up there at the top, well, maybe like, if this was a clock dial, we'll say like at 11 o'clock, you can see the, right up here. This is his midheaven, and there's this Pluto, and then transiting Pluto in the sky is squaring not only his Pluto, but his midheaven, which is grinding, which is very uncomfortable, very undermining if you're not in a very, very strong position. And he's not because Vance doesn't like him. And if something happens to Trump, what's going to happen to Naziferatu? The Saturn-Neptune conjunction is squaring Neptune in his chart. Uranus is squaring his sun. Heck, even Mars is squaring his Venus. Oh, poor Naziferatu. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you, that I don't know, things might not be grand for him going forward. So, all right, put the kitties back up. There we go. Kitties. All right. Debbie says, I was taught that transiting Pluto in the 10th house can be the fall from grace or major scandal. But Pluto itself isn't it in his first house? Having Pluto, Pluto isn't always bad. Pluto transited Kushner's son while he was working in the White House during the first Trump administration. And it didn't seem to do much of anything. But when Pluto has gone over things in my chart, it has burned my life to the ground. So it depends. It is in his second house. Oh, his second house of finances. Pluto's transiting through his second house of finances. Oh, what a shame. Marvy Marie says, cute kitty on the left. Oh, I'm glad you like them. I think they're both cute, but thank you. Remus says Jared was diagnosed with cancer during the first Trump administration. Oh, was he? It's all kind of blown away. In the memory banks. Oh, he's a flunky. Congratulations, you are a flunky to the King of Wands. Yeah. I think this is when I see you upset with the insanity, my heart breaks over watching this. However, your kitty brought me down my anxiety. Thank you for your pet therapy. I love you for this. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. I'm glad you like it. He's sitting pretty. Oh, yeah, the Trump victory. But then suddenly, oh, look at that. All of those Democratic votes. Big ol' ending. And strength. That's not his strength. These are women. You know, the things he hates. Except his wife, who's as vicious as he is. So anyway, TJ says with those energies, he has to lose his job. I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah. Oh, it was thyroid cancer in 2019. Oh, I'm glad he survived it. I don't wish that on anybody, not even Jared Kushner. No trouble with that. Okay. All right. So, let us move on to something I had been talking with some very nice people in the chat here earlier this morning. Heather brought this up, and hello, Canada. I hope you have room for one more. Anyway, a bill set for debate in Congress could cause U.S. citizens to lose their passports based solely on political views. Wait till they get a load of me and my nearly 2,500 anti-Trump videos. Hi. Thank you. I don't know if Canada would actually let me in, but it doesn't matter because yeah, I'm very low on the priority list. But anyway, introduced by Representative Brian Mast, a Republican from, you want to guess? Where's he from? Where do you think Representative Brian Mast is from if you don't already know? Because it's usually just like a handful of states. But this is particularly banana crazy pants. So, Florida. Yes, indeed. Representative Brian Mast of Florida, chair of the House Foreign Affairs, is allowing the Secretary of State to deny or revoke passports. This bill would allow the Secretary of State to deny or revoke passports for those convicted or even just charged with providing material support for terrorism and to block passports for people he determines aided designated foreign terrorist groups. Civil liberty advocates warn this could criminalize political expression. You think? Will this bill pass? If so, what are the consequences for travelers who oppose Trump's regime or volunteer with charities MAGA labels enemies? Oh, this would be bad. This would be bad in many, many, many ways. So, Melissa says, lots of us are here. You can come visit for 2 weeks at a time until you can apply for asylum. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for even saying that. Oh, wow. All right, Brian Mast. TJ, do you have a Canadian passport? No, that's why I was saying I'd have to throw myself on the mercy. Yeah, and I'm divorced from my ex, so I couldn't have anything to do with the UK. So here we are. You can kind of think of MAGA right now as a cornered animal. Vinzenberger, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That really helps. Thank you. They're cornered and they're freaking out. And there are a lot of questions even here about this terrible reaction they're having to the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, who should not have been unalived. I want to make that abundantly clear. It has absolutely nothing to do with the left, but they don't care. They're looking for an excuse to be mad. Beekeeper Terror says, Autumn, come to Australia. Oh, I don't have enough money. They would let me in if I had enough money. I looked into this in the past. I wouldn't necessarily want to, but because I do love my country. But if I was booted out, if I lost my citizenship for speaking out against fascism, one, I wouldn't be alone, and two, but anyway. Valerie says they like being angry. That's true. Yeah. Lynn's Art Room. Hi, Beekeeper Tower. Another Aussie awake at a silly time of the morning. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And Amy says you need a lot of money to live in Canada. I'm sure. All right, so right now they're mad and they're looking for an excuse, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. He was right wing. So was the person who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. So was the person who took the lives of those politicians in Minnesota. So was January 6th. So was. There's a long list that they're all right wing, but that doesn't fit their narrative. And if you think they aren't capable of really committing to something that has no anchoring in reality at all, please remember they have voted for Donald Trump and repeat constantly, he's done nothing wrong. He's never done anything wrong. No. The 34, being convicted of 34 fraud convictions, it's just politics. It was just some liberal judge and liberal jury. That's all that was. Being held accountable as an adjudicated R word. Oh, she made it up. Of course she made it up. Oh, he's a businessman. Okay, what about the 6 bankruptcies? Well, that was a long time ago, and I'm sure he did it for his own advantage. I mean, the disconnect is, he was best friends with Roy Cohn and Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, but he didn't know either of them messed with underage people. So they are burdened because if they admit that their own side is doing this, if they admit that they have an internal civil war under their political umbrella, and that it's not us over under this umbrella, their entire worldview has to warp. And right now they are just determined, and we'll get to this in a minute, right now they're just determined to, it's all Saint Charlie right now. And if you point out any of the heinous things that Charlie Kirk said, and he did, you are the worst of the worst, and you should lose your job, and you should blah blah blah. Kim says release the Epstein files unredacted, except for the names of victims who haven't come forward. Victims, not alleged Johns. Yeah, or yeah. Evelyn says, I just watched Chuck Schumer. It's not crossing the aisle. Sounds like a government shutdown. Oh, boy. Lee says the maggots are really feeding my depression. I'm sorry. Do hang in there. I suffer from depression, too. Survivors. Yes, Deb. Yep. So... do I think this is going to pass? Which was the original question. I'm just... No. But they're going to do all kinds of stupid things. This is a big, showy, obnoxious thing. This is the biggest parade in the float. Their far-right communication, the racism and bigotry. Yeah, they're on this Saint Charlie thing right now. And, my heart goes out to his wife, and God bless his children. His wife is saying she's going to carry on what he was doing, and anyway, I don't. How much? Okay, so how do I put this? All right, The next question at 25:15. Dozens of people are being targeted or fired over posts about Charlie Kirk's unaliving. And thank you, Kristen from Uncover the News. Thank you for bringing me this about. There is an anonymous Exposed Charlie's Unalivers site that claims 30,000 submissions and plans a searchable doxxing database. That's not illegal. Far-right figures, including Laura Loomer, are amplifying posts and victims report threats. Private employers are firing workers. Some public employees have also been removed. Legal experts say private firings are broadly permissible, with narrow rules for public workers when speech disrupts operations. They are acting more and more extreme. The more it is perfectly clear the Epstein stuff is going to come out. There is a civil war brewing under their umbrella within what is the Republican umbrella. And they're turning on each other. And it looks bad for them in the midterms. And then there are these special elections popping up, and Democrats are winning them. Smith says if there's a government shutdown, it would begin at midnight on October 1st. U.S. fiscal year ends September 30th. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the love of Gotham. That site is being run by libs of TikTok. People have been reporting the site to the host to have it taken down. Okay. Thank you. Really? Marvin Marie says Charlie Kirk was worth $90 million. Mary says we still get our Social Security, though. I just checked that out. Okay. Hello, Traveling Tarot. Wow. So, yes. Amy says there's lots of money in hate speech. Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you so much, Carol. Thank you. All right. They're flailing. They're flailing because they know they're losing. They know things are turning against them. The economy is going horrifically bad. There's probably an AI bubble going on in the stock market. And their push for their very, very racist, bigoted push is not working. It's making things worse. And there are Democrats coming together and people talking, going, despite what I've been told on the right, I'm old enough to notice that when Republicans are in charge, they destroy the economy, and then the Democrats clean it up. And then another Republican gets in and destroys the economy. It's a whittle mystery. There are big changes. And dear leader is looking a little, shall we say, strokey, which I also would not wish on anybody, not even him. The side of his face. So the camera, it would be this side, hanging down really badly. So the economy's failing. His health, the cult leaders' health is failing. Yeah. Chances liberals are being fired for minor anti-right comments. Okay. Well, I'm glad I don't have a direct boss, but yeah. So yes, Jan, I had that in the thing about the apology. The fact that anyone would say that in the first place. Anyway, Raymond, Officer Brian Sicknick, U.S. Capitol Police officer who was killed on January 6th, was never honored with flags at half-staff. Yep. Okay, so Cosmic Goat Lady was a bit worried this morning, and I didn't see your response if you gave one, because I asked the question about something related to this. But will the Supreme Court make Trump a true dictator? This is Cosmic Goat Lady asking. Will the Supreme Court make Trump a true dictator in chief before he is out of office? They've been ruling in his favor a lot lately. Well, instead of true dictator, I would change the question to effectively a dictator, because they're always going to couch it in some kind of language. No. It ends with hope. Is Trump waiting for that? Wanting that? Yeah, he's waiting for a ship to come in. Oh, heck yeah. Have they been working for it? Yeah, they've worked for decades. The far right has worked for decades to get control of the Supreme Court in a way that our side just didn't. And now we're paying the price for that. And yeah, you can set up the party. But this is the card of, let's just say, retirement or vacation. And then I've got a Hanged Man. And hope. So I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. Yeah. Do put questions in the chat before I come on, please. I'm always looking for questions. And I'm here every single day. So. Okay. This was one of the other questions from Cosmic Goat Lady at 3350. Midas Touch is reporting that Hogsbreath was firing soldiers who said anything bad about Kirk. Would this give other nations, Russia, ideas about striking while the iron's hot and we're vulnerable? No more so than normal. So, yes, Finzenberger. I've gotten warnings and videos demonetized and pulled for nudity on the channel. You've never even. It's certainly not me. It's the cards. So anyway. What happened was heinous and wrong. What happened to Charlie Kirk was heinous and wrong. Period. That should not happen to anybody. There should be no violence in politics. Period. But this St. Charlie thing is... No, these are pretty. This is, work a day. Even Russia, even the Russians can see that Republicans don't have complete control. That Trump doesn't have complete control. That there's still pushback. There are still elections coming up, and we're all going to go out and vote, right? Do put questions in the chat before I come on, please. I always looking for questions then, but I rarely take one out of the chat during because I've got so many. But your questions are important. Thank you. So I've got temperance right in the middle. Yeah, refusal, but this is also weakness. So there's still judgment. There's still some power for Democrats. We've got temperance in the middle. Nah. Russia has their own problems. These other countries, they have their own problems. So Shanrai says, yeah, you don't even show your elbows like the 18th century. That is true. I don't. Okay, so what was next? I had a question. 3650. Melissa, Tammy, and It's Just Me were asking about Brian Kilmeade from Fox News. Wow. Who they were having a vile discussion about what should be done about homeless people. And Kilmeade suggested that, well, if they won't take their medicines or whatever's foisted upon them, then they should be euthanized. Well, there was a little bit of pushback against that, and he has been forced to give a 10-second 10-second apology for saying that. And I had 3 different people asking if he's going to be fired. No. That's just not their... MAGA Karen's asking, it's from the anti-vax crowd. Yeah. No, he's just running his mouth for ratings. Yes, him and all of those people, they're working the plan on Fox. And he said about unaliving people, and how did it do with ratings? Carol says there was another guy there who was just as vile in that discussion. I'm not surprised. So, yep, ratings. Because if there's one thing you can always count on the right, it's okay as long as it makes money. I wish that wasn't true, but yeah, their cruelty. So, all right. Okay. All right, we've got some questions that are kind of variations on that. I'm going to roll some of these over to tomorrow. So let's go on to some different topics here for the last 20 minutes. 40 minutes in, Kelly was asking, why didn't President Biden and AG Garland pursue insurrection charges against 45 and company? for the attempted coup. Oh. I had my issues with Garland. Huge issues with Garland. So thank you, Love Awakens. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mal. Oh, it's been a minute. It's good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. Okay. Why? Why was Donald Trump not arrested January 22nd? I've never understood that. When did the Supreme Court give Donald Trump basic immunity for anything he did while in office? When was that? Thank you, Jan. Spritzing Florida water in everyone's general direction. Thank you. Oh, hang on. Where is he hiding? Hang on. You've been sleeping in there? I couldn't find you. What is in there? I couldn't find him. I don't know where he was sleeping, in the closet. There's nowhere to sleep. Weird. Okay, I'm sorry. That just blew my mind. I heard him sneeze. It was like, hang on a second. Okay. Thank you, Woodpile Witch. Jen says when he was running for a second term. But he said he was running for a second term like within a month of when a month or two. And, huh. One, we know that Biden and Garland were old school. This whole, you don't arrest your political enemies, but they were political enemies that were trying to foment an insurrection. That's not someone who disagrees with you on politics. Spiritual Hack says Merrick was terrified of civil war. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Last year, July 1st, 2024. Thank you. Yeah. Lanai says, I found Gemma asleep in the dirty clothes basket. Yeah. Okay. Well, we were definitely hurting. And it wasn't like Trump was doing any kind of actual hiding it. He was lying, but he wasn't trying to hide it. And it wasn't exactly, you didn't exactly need 6 degrees of separation to figure out what was going on, but they were both of a mind of, you have to reach across the aisle. Traveling Tarot is saying, my ex-friend who worked at the Homeland Security said there were over 2 million people talking about civil war if Trump was arrested. Yeah. Yep. Excuse me. Yep, but they got scared. Traveling Tarot, yeah. fraudsters or hackers. Remember, no one was arrested on the day. Oh, there were some people, just not everybody. It is, let's say, a missed opportunity. The insurrectionists, Biden took power, put in Garland. We thought because it was Garland that he was going to be particularly strong against the rule breaking of the MAGA world, but no, it has to be proven without a shadow of a doubt before you can even take it to court. He was far too he was a man who would not look at the woods. It was the bark, little pieces of bark on every single tree. Hi, come on. How you doing? You doing okay? Since when do you sleep in the closet? Huh? That's a new thing. Never slept in the closet before. I couldn't find you. But I figured you'd turn up eventually. He doesn't even want to go out. I think because when he was found on the side of the road alone when he was less than a year old, and he was hungry. He was really hungry, and so anytime there's Alfie, the other one, he loves to go outside. He wants to go outside so badly, but this one is like, what? Why are you out here? Why? You know, if we go inside, it's safe and warm, and there's food, and there are cuddles. No, he didn't open the door, but yes, Jen, the cat distribution system working perfectly. All the biscuits. You're a good boy. Chris Cole says they had a huge agenda that needed to get done in Congress. Shrug. He was able to accomplish infrastructure. That's true. But, yeah. Hi. You're a sweetie. Oops, sorry. Jen says it's Mr. Murder Mitten's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. He is a handsome boy, thank you. Like I had anything to do with it. And says, thank you, BBZK. My cat fixed for the day, too allergic for a real cat. Do I need to trim your nails? Yes, it looks like I need to trim your nails again. It's a regular thing. Kitty, right on time. Mm-hmm. Oh, biscuits. Who wants biscuits? Hi. Okay. Well, let me see. Although there is one thing I wanted to make sure that I got to today at 49 minutes in. A2 Fox News panel affirms that the Epstein birthday letter, likely carries Trump's signature. Guests puzzled why the White House keeps denying it, saying the denials worsen optics despite no evidence Trump committed a crime. It's because you're not listening to the victims. Anyway. Yeah. You're precious. You are the precious. You are the precious. Yes. So, I don't think Fox is actually turning against Trump, because even it never ceases to amaze me. Even in that article, in that discussion they were having, they were very quick to point out the people who were having that discussion on Fox News. But there is absolutely no evidence Trump ever did anything wrong. And the other people agreed. Never did anything wrong, huh? Wow. 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 What do you see? So, yeah. Just walk away from the evidence. Just walk away. What? La 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 la. What evidence? Move things around. Move the resources around. Yeah, we can admit that's his signature, but he never did anything wrong. He never did anything wrong. He never did anything wrong. Yeah, don't expect much more from Fox. Oh, yeah. You're okay, sweetheart. You're okay. That's technically that would be your uncle-in-law out there? Yeah, okay. Anyway, all right. That's going to do it for this Sunday. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to get through this. But the other side, they're going to act like idiots for a while. I know, it's not, that in itself isn't new, but they're going to act like more aggressive idiots for a while. And part of it has to do with what's going on astrologically, and these things, this too shall change over time. But it's really important to hang in there. Sorry, something went wrong there. It's really important to remember that you're not alone. And I say it every day, but it's true. You're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. Angie from Feisty Butterfly Tarot. Hello. All right, it's 1:01 p.m. here in Chicago. In 2 hours, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. It's Sarah's day off, but I'll be over there, and we're going to be productive. I usually do a Sunday reset, where I go through my bullet journal and my plans, figure out what the goals are this coming week. So, all right. But people are doing all kinds of productive things, and you're always welcome, even just to hang out. All right. So hang in there. And I, like always, will see you later. All right. Take care. Be well. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Okay. All right.